Right, I'm on an 11:03, so let's get going.
You want us ready to? Well, we're ready to go. Are we 11:03?
Yeah.
Cool by me. That's fine.
Have a great session, everyone.
Yeah. So, would you keep an eye on the people who are coming in?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And roll out the welcome mat for them. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Great to be with you, as always. I know there are some people who have been with me before and who know who Graham Moore is, but for those who don't, let me give you a little introduction. So, Graham Moore, 25 years of developing others, 3,000 training days. They weren't the days that I was training, but 3,000 days that I've been training others. I was also training at the same time. I'm certified master of the Leadership Challenge, the world's most prominent leadership development program. And as I always say, well, actually, I changed this. I have presented in over 20 countries on 5 continents. Antarctica is on the list, but not yet on. I haven't done it because it's too cold. Antarctica and South America. So any opportunity to go to South America, I'll be there. 20 countries, 5 continents. And at the age of 29, just merely 10 years ago, I had 5 direct reports and 60 to 80 people in the team overall. It kind of changed as we grew and moved into other areas. So I've been doing this for a long time, is the message there. I've been doing this leading kind of thing for a long time. So here's what I want to say right up front. Today, I want you to think about leaving your job. Not today, not today, not leaving today, but think about leaving your job. Now, some people are going to say, oh, I think about that every day. Why can't I leave? Oh my gosh. I want you to think about leaving your job. Why? Well, here's the why. Here's the why. 2 certainties in this life, guaranteed. Guaranteed. They used to say it was death and taxes. Well, it's not taxes, not here in the Middle East. Well, not personal tax, as they've just announced corporate tax in the UAE. Death and what? Death and leaving your job or leaving the organisation. Guaranteed. It's going to happen. Hopefully not on the same day, but it's going to happen. You will pass on to another life. You will leave your job or the organisation or both. So I want you to think about legacy. Now, what is a legacy? Well, generally we think about legacy as being an inheritance. It's something that someone leaves behind for someone else. It's an inheritance. It's a bequest, which might be money. It might be that, or it might be a gift, right? So we know about legacy, but what about legacy in the workplace? What's that? Well, here's what I want you to do. In the chat box, I want you to write 1 or 2 words to describe legacy in the workplace. 1 or 2 words. Chat box. Thank you very much. Chat box. What is legacy in the workplace? You tell me. Touching hearts. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that. Touching hearts. Your footprint. Yeah. Hopefully it's not on the back of someone, on the backside of someone that you've kicked as they. No, I'm joking. But it's leaving footprint. And I talk about be aware of the footprints that you leave in the sand. Being a leader. Yeah. How you make others feel. Yeah, and I'm going to be talking about that in this time we're together. Absolutely. How you make others feel. Leaving developed leaders. Yeah. Anyone else? Any more other comments? Impact and impression a leader makes to the team. Yeah. What else? 1 more coming. Impact and impression a leader makes to the team. How you make others feel. Okay. So who can leave a legacy? In the corporate environment, who? Well, it's a managing director, it's a CEO, it's a general manager, it's a CFOs, it's SVPs, it's direct reports. It's you. You can leave a legacy. And that's what I want to talk about today. So what does this legacy that you're going to leave, what does it apply to? Well, when does this apply? It's for the team, leaving the team, leaving the department or the division, leaving the organisation. That's when it applies, when you move on. So why would you want to do that? Oh, I've got more important things to do than think about my legacy. I've got profits to make. I'll be gone and they'll be pleased. They'll be so pleased. They'll slam the door when I leave. I'll be out of sight, out of mind. They will forget about me. Why should I worry about a legacy? What's the benefit to me of leaving a legacy? Well, leaving a legacy means that you have created a positive culture. You have created a track record of achievement. Your team will not want you to leave. You will inspire others to lead as you do, and you will create future possibilities for you. Here's the deal. The organisation you're leaving may say, we want you to come back. Other organisations might hear about what you have done and what legacy you have left behind. You didn't just run out of the office as soon as you could get out of there and move on to something else, to saying, thank goodness I've gone. It's important for you to leave a legacy. So what can be the reasons for leaving? Retiring? Sure. And when I think of this, I remember a leadership challenge program that I did some years ago now in Jeddah. And one of the participants on the program at the start of the program said, why should I be doing this training? I'm retiring in 18 months. And I said, I want you to think about the legacy that you will leave. And that had him really thinking, and it had him committed to the program, and he left a fantastic testimonial at the end. And that testimonial is on my website now. He really engaged in this and wanted to leave a really lasting legacy, but he hadn't considered it until that time. What else? Well, it's an external hire and new opportunity. It could be a promotion. You could be going to another division or another department in a promotion. You can still leave a legacy from the area that you were. Or it could be downsizing. It could be uncertainty. But there's reasons why you could be leaving. Now, when I said death and leaving earlier, there was a situation some years ago when this gentleman in the organisation that I was coaching actually had a fatal heart attack in the office. Unfortunately, he didn't leave a good legacy. He didn't leave a good legacy. He was the senior accountant, and there were issues. Not only he passed away, but the legacy wasn't one that people were pleased with either. So think about leaving a positive legacy whenever you can. So now we're going to talk about how we might be doing that. Don't leave your legacy until your farewell speech. I'm leaving today. Thank you very much for the good wishes, everybody. And I'm sure that you're going to follow on the good things that we've talked about. Don't leave it until then. Plan your legacy now. So I want you now to write in the chat box 2 or 3 words. So what can you do now to leave a legacy? Now, you may not be leaving for 5, 10 years. And we know, though, that typically, and there's people who'll be on this call who may be moving to another position or another company within the next 2 to 5 years. So think about what you can do to leave a legacy. I'm back. What you can do to leave a legacy. And I'm not suggesting you leave them with your phone number so they can call you if they've got a problem. Be a mentor at work. Yeah, good. What else? What can you do to leave a legacy? Lead by example. Prepare your replacement. Oh, 2 of those that I like. What else? Take care of your people. Gosh, as leaders, we've all got to take care of our people. Helping someone to come out from interest debt. Okay. Promote positive culture, inspire creativity. Yeah, gosh, you guys have read my slides already. We're going to come up to that in a moment. So continue to be consistent. Yep. We talk about living your values, and we're going to come to that in a moment. So these are some of the things that you can do. And I hope I've got some more that I can share with you. Here's 2 that are important. What you can do, be the best leader you can be, and identify and develop your successors. Critical, just those 2. But when are you going to be the best leader you can be? Every day. Be the best leader. You don't decide that, oh, Tuesday will be a good day. Every day. Leadership is something that you do every day. And I say leadership is like cleaning your teeth. It should be anyway. What do you mean cleaning my teeth? Yes, it's a habit. You don't think about going to clean your teeth. You do it. So that's what leadership is like. You do these things that I'm going to be talking about really soon to get the best happening all the time and identify and develop your successes. So how do we do this? Build relationships, maintain relationships, build new relationships, grow relationships. Is there a theme happening here? Build more relationships, and finally, build strong relationships, not only with the people who are reporting to you, who are your direct reports, but with your clients, with other people in the organization. Build relationships. I say that your success as a leader is pivotal in terms of relationships. And also that's not only the people who are reporting to you or working in your team, but others as well, others in the organization and other stakeholders that you are dealing with. Leadership is personal. Do the people you lead know who you are, what you care about, and why they would want to follow you? Leadership is personal. Get to know the people that you're leading really, really well. Build that solid relationship. A good leader takes time to know his or her team on a personal level. A great leader goes one step further and learns about each person's values, how they build trust, and what is a core motivation and their drive. What drives them? I talk about in my programs how to find out how you can motivate people. I also say before this, you can't motivate a team. That might sound like a challenging statement. You learn the individual's internal drivers and you motivate the individual. Easy. You can't motivate a team as effectively. It makes trust a core value. Trust is so important for leaders and the people around them. You've got to walk the talk. You've got to live that as a core value. Trust is so important. Once it's broken, you're in trouble. Articulate and live your values. We call this model the way. And we can see it's a little bit dark, but I really like this. Mum elephant and the baby elephant following along. The baby elephant is learning what mum is doing, just as it's doing it here. And I don't know which of these two elephant photos I love more, but we thank Imogen for these. The little baby elephant is behind mum, following and learning. Articulate, live your values, understand your values as a leader. In order to become a leader, it's important that I first define my values and principles. Just take that time. If you haven't done it, write this down. Have an exercise yourself to define your values. And I've got to say, I've talked to people who've been in the corporate world for a long time. They've got a reasonably senior career. And I say, what are your values? And they sometimes struggle to tell me. It's not good enough. You've really got to understand and live your values and your principles. So those who lead primarily from values-based motivations outperform those leaders with additional instrumental outcomes and rewards. So who leaves a positive legacy? Best leaders. Quite simple, best leaders. So what I see in this situation is there are two things that I want you to focus on now. When you focus on your legacy and work at it now, you're going to get positive results now and until you go. And when you go, that will stay behind. Make sure there is a clearly defined vision. Where are we going? Look at these ducks. They know, they're geese. They know where they're going. You know, it's amazing that Mother Nature has provided animals with this wonderful navigation system that even birds like this know where they are going. And you know that it's been proven that sharks can return to the same place that they left 5,000 kilometers away in a year's time. There are many animals that are like this. They know where they're going. Do you know where you're going and where you're taking the people that are with you? So people, they have a clearly defined vision, which they know. They have a stake in, they know where we're going, but also talk regularly about that vision. Talk about the positive future. Talk about the exciting things that are going to happen. When you do that, people are more clearly involved with you. 4, challenges. Challenge. Challenge what? Challenge yourself. Challenge those you are leading. Challenge processes. Challenge the way we do what we are doing. Look for new ways. Look for better ways. How can we do this differently? How can we get a better result? How can we change things to make it easier, more productive, more successful. Encourage innovation. Always look for a better way and encourage the team to do the same. Encourage the team to learn from mistakes. And I know there's one person on this call now, Mickey Patel, who has done some amazing things because he was challenging and asking his people to challenge the process to get great results. Got to do it. Got to do it. Where's my next little, there we go. Thank you. Exemplary leaders ask, what's next? What's new? How can we do it better? How can we make things revolutionary? How can we move forward? And I want to suggest that you have these three words at the top. Make challenge, innovation, and improvement fundamental behaviours. Every day, challenging people, looking for innovation, looking for improvement. Every day, not hard. Leaders enable others. Absolutely. I have another little question for you that's coming up in a second, if I can get it to do what I want it to do. How often do you hear, I love my manager because he always tells me exactly what to do for everything that I do, always, every day. Oh, I'll really miss him when he's gone. Have you heard? I've never heard that. People don't want that. What they want is to be empowered. And they show every day when they are empowered the great results that they can get. It's amazing when you give people encouragement and you empower them, and when that's part of the culture, they will achieve things that not only will they be surprised about, but that you will be surprised about when you empower the people you are leading. Give your power away so that they take on the power and do great things. Exemplary leaders give encouragement. Well, some of you might have seen this slide on a previous similar program that I did a while ago. Some years ago, I was presenting to an organisation that some of you may remember. It no longer exists. This was Anderson Consulting. Doesn't exist anymore, hasn't for about 15 years. So in one state in Australia where I presented to the staff, someone said in the group, we are always told when we do the wrong thing. We are never told when we get it right. And so when I was in another state, I was in Brisbane on this occasion, which is the capital of Queensland. The person in the group, one of the people in the group was the state manager. I didn't realise at the time that he was the state manager. And when I talked about encouraging people and recognising the good things that they've done, he said, you don't need to encourage people. They know when they've done a good job. Wow. I think there's a lot of pain behind that, because I think he'd probably been with the organisation, as he said, for 18 years and had never been given any encouragement. So why should I give encouragement? I didn't get any. And look at me, I'm doing okay. Everybody needs encouragement. And when they get this encouragement, they remember. I may have shared this with some people who are on the call, but this is about, in a sense, I guess, a legacy that inadvertently that I left. I say inadvertently because I really wasn't thinking about what people would think about me when I left. And this is the organisation where I said that I started when I was 29 and I had a lot of people in the group. About 5 years ago now, I was back in Australia. And when I arrived, someone who used to work for me had passed away. And I'd been asked to speak at his memorial service, which I was very pleased to be able to do. At the end of that memorial service, two gentlemen came up to me. I didn't recognise them. It had been a while. Graham, how are you? I'm so-and-so, remember? Oh, yeah, okay. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm in Dubai. And what are you doing? Oh, Then he said, one of them, I still have the memos written on a piece of paper, memos that you sent to me, telling me of the good work that I had done on a number of occasions. It wasn't just one memo, it was memos. I said, wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me. This sharing with me gave me two things. It was a gift. He showed to me that I had been doing those things all those years ago. And the other part about it was all those years ago. You see, what I'm talking about when I sent those memos was 30 years ago. Actually, I've been telling the story for 5 years, so I guess it's 35 years ago now. And he remembered. So I say, remember or be aware of the footprints that you might leave in the sand. Was this a big thing for me to do? I didn't say when I was sending memos telling people they've done a great job, oh, he'll remember this, but they do. There's one other key element of all of this is it's not just sending memos, because these days we don't do that. We say, yes, get rid of him. 98% of people say that they perform at their best when they're given positive encouragement. I say this so much. Why wouldn't you do this? If you want to bring out the best in people, why wouldn't you tell them that they're doing a great job? This, mind you, this recognition must be meaningful and genuine. You can't just walk past someone and say, oh, love what you're doing, or love you, that's great. No, that's not meaningful, it's not genuine. But when it is, you will touch their heart. You can achieve this by writing handwritten notes or encouraging them in front of others in the team meeting. You can and should be doing this regularly. So I talked about writing notes. Rachel Argaman, who was the CEO of an Australian hotel group, wrote a handwritten note to every one of her 3,000 employees, thanking them for the work that they had done in the previous year, which had been very successful. It took her 4 straight days. Not only did she write a handwritten note, but she personalised it as much as she could, where she was writing, for instance, to the marketing director or someone who was at the door of the hotel or on reception or in the kitchen area. She would personalise it and refer to the work that they were doing and that contribution. The impact of something like this is huge. Handwritten notes people love. So this is what I say, you should recognise the potential now. Identify the potential in your team members now. Develop a clear learning path for them. Have regular conversations with them about where they're going and what they want to do, and coach them on a regular basis. So when you do this, is this just about your legacy? No, it's not. Of course it's not. What else is it about? We know what else it's about. This is succession planning, and it starts with you. No, isn't that HR's job? Yeah, kind of is, but it starts with you. So often when people think of being promoted or when they're moving on, the HR department might say, oh, who do you think should take your job? Well, you should involve the HR department before that conversation starts, but you should do this. I say this is a win-win-win process. Have you ever heard that expression before? I just made it up. Win-win-win. Why is it a win-win-win situation when you do this? Quite simply, where's my cursor gone? It's disappeared off the screen. It's not there. There we go. It's gone. So the process motivates those you identify. That's the first win. The next win, this process motivates others potentially. Even if you haven't identified them in the group, they'll see that you are working to develop other people and they will want to be part of that cohort as well. This increases productivity. This builds a culture which will remain as your legacy. That's the 4, win-win-win-win. Motivates those you identify, motivates others, increases productivity because they're more motivated, because they're learning more productive, more engaged, and it builds that culture which will remain as your legacy. So how important is coaching for senior leaders? Simple question, simple answer. How important is it? Think about it. 2 words. Well, 1 at this stage. Very important. So you should be being coached. I hope you have a coach. You should be coaching the people that you are leading, whether they are senior or whatever level they are at. Coaching is now recognised as one of the most valuable exercises or activities or behaviours that we can do in the workplace to help people improve what they're doing and grow. So ask those who are following you, how does what I do affect your performance? Ask them. Then listen and learn so that you become a better leader. So what can you do? Be the best leader you can be from day one, every day. Then identify and develop your successes. When you do this, it brings big benefits. Now, make your legacy a positive, productive culture which you created. This is what you leave behind, and they remember you and they think, wow, we learned so much, and look at what we're achieving even now that he or she has gone and is no longer with us. So there you go. If you have any questions, email us at graham@moresuccess.com or visit the website www.moresuccessme.com. And I'll leave this final message with you. Plan now to leave a legacy which will be enduring and which will impact positively on others. You have that responsibility. Don't just say it's the HR department, it's you. You can have much more impact personally because of what you are doing, by the way you lead, the examples that you set, and by the culture that you establish. People will want to replicate that. They will want to continue it when you've gone. And they'll say, boy, do we miss that person who was our leader. But you will have developed leaders in your place. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time.